So next test I want to have is actually the test the other way around. So I'm going to say I have very similar setup. So I'm going to copy the setup. That's again another indicator that I want to remove duplication here quite soon, because I'm starting to copy paste stuff around. That's always because I have to write too much. I have to do too many similar things. Anyways, I'm probably going to get this timer thing completely implemented and then focus on how to clean up the tests in some other episodes. So the test is does additional update if loop is too slow. This is the other way around. Imagine that, for example, while the game is running, your antivirus system kicks in, or whatever, you had the good idea to start iTunes in the meantime. So your system just got too slow, and now you want to catch up by doing some additional updates before you start rendering again, so that the game continues at the really same speed. So let's say game loop frame duration +1 is the second time I return. So in this case, when I run the game loop, I should find that in the test game, the number of updates is 2. And at the same time, the number of renders should be 1. This test fails because the number of updates is actually 1 and not 2. So let's go back to the game loop and see how we can get this implemented. Actually, it's quite easy to implement. We make this a loop and update the lag afterwards, saying lag minus equals frame duration. That should work, right? No, it does not work. Actually, it makes another test. Another test fail. Let me think about our test for now. So let's undo that, because apparently I broke something. Return to the previous state. Okay. Let me think about the test for a second. I think I got something wrong here. So I want to render, this is bullshit. This needs to be 2 times the frame duration in order for me to really do 2 renders. Crap, sorry. Okay, so now coming back to this part, I should be able to reintroduce the changes I just made in order to get our tests to run. Right, now it's running. Anyways, there's still the other test that's failing now, and it's failing with expected 3 but was 6. Let me have a look at which test this is. This is the long running test. So I have 3 repetitions and this is 6. Why is this? Oh yeah, obviously I forgot to update the previous time, because in the end the previous time is the current time. Rerun the test and everything's green. That's fine. Let's clean up a little. This up here actually looks like a for loop. I have an initializer, I have a check, and I have an update, so I want this to be for loop. Take this part and move it in here. And take this part and move it in here too. This is a quite long loop header. This line is now 103 characters. I can live with that. It still fits into my screen. And I really think it's easy to understand. Should still work. Right. Okay, so we have that part in a neat for loop. We have the render down here. And we have the previous time update. Actually, there's another thing that's an update at the end of the loop. And we have an initialize actually in the beginning of the loop. But the condition is somewhat different. How does it look like if I move that into another for loop, actually? I'm not sure if I like that, but I'm going to try it out to see what it does look like. I could do it like this. And then I have to initialize current time before... No, this is ugly, right? Is this ugly? Do I want to have that? No, I don't think I want to have that. I think I'm going to stay with a while loop at that point. I think that's easier to understand. Repeat does work. Okay. I think this solves the timing issue for me. Let's have a look back at our tests. We have two tests, one for the skipping of update and one for the repetition of updates to catch up for the game loop. So we have ensured that update is run once per 16 milliseconds, so with an approximate frame rate of 60 frames per second. That solved the timing issue for me sufficiently good.